Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. We are the Odds Couple. His name is Mike Brenner. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the College Basketball Odds Couple show for Tuesday, February 28th. Yeah, Mike Brenner. Let's throw the record up. I was so busy yesterday. I didn't have the time to even think about whether I wanted to go on Virginia, but I knew that was a.
You looked at me twice and said, "Are you sure, Mike Brenner?" They only scored 43 points, North Carolina. Hey, Pete, you know what? Wow, got my ass kicked, got it handed to me. I own every single bit of it, and today's another day. But, you had that look twice yesterday, and I'm not kidding. It stuck in my head there. I was like, wait a minute. But you didn't go the other way?
No, I didn't, but just because I was so busy, I always make sure that I want to give a pick if it's real. And
how'd you do yesterday?
I split my picks. I had a couple of, 4 games in general, basically 2 of them, although everyone was talking about Georgia Southern. That game wound up landing right between it opened at 1. Guan White told us that everyone and their mom was on Georgia
and their
Southern,
grandmother
moved to 3, and it was on 2. Landed on 2. So that one pushed.
How about App State? What'd that end up?
Oh, that was a big loser. Everything else I had was a winner, but that was a big loser. 2 ways. All right.
I almost got in on that one. Well, you know what, though, Pete? Hey, it happens. We move forward. Again, it's a marathon. It ain't a sprint.
All right. So let's start with the Tuesday card. I don't know. I might just give one pick, but there's one game that I think I'm liking. It's definitely my best pick. Okay.
And there's a couple that don't even have lines yet, if I'm correct.
Yes, there's a couple that don't have lines. Actually, some big ones. Florida State Duke doesn't have a line. The Kentucky game doesn't have a line. The South Carolina game doesn't have a line.
Lay it on us with your big pick.
But the one that I think I'm liking is Maryland on the first half against Rutgers. Maryland has been struggling, right? And they need to have a good game to get back into the swing of things for them. Yeah. And I've had a good read on Rutgers. I called them when they covered against who was the team they covered against recently? I can't remember who it was.
Michigan.
When they were at home.
Michigan.
No, they were at home against. Maybe it was
or Northwestern.
Yeah, I don't remember who they covered against, but it was a call that I made, and they covered. Rutgers is a scrappy team, but they're short on talent, and I think here is a spot where Maryland will come out and say we're not this bad of a team, and we're going to, at least in the first half, probably in the full game, they're a good bet as well. But first half, I'll take it.
The full game was 8. What's the first?
No, it's 5.
Oh, 5. I mean, what's the best? Is it 3?
Yep, 3 or 2.5. I'm going to give 2.5 minus 115, which is the Chris lines from Bookmaker and BetDSI.
I'm jumping on with you. I had looked at that, and again, this is a team that's got an opportunity. They better shut it down. They better get it done right now today. But Rutgers, they've lost a bunch at home. They are just not dominant whatsoever. And if you check it out, they're struggling first halves.
Yeah, I mean, Rutgers is off of 2 nice covers, but Maryland is off of 3 straight up losses.
Exactly.
So if they don't bounce back here, they're not going to bounce back at all.
I'm jumping on with you. I'll take the 2.5 for Maryland.
All right, so that's definitely my top play of the day. And Mike Brenner, what do you have for us?
Okay, well, I'm going to go with this might be a big one. What's the best shop line for the full game with South Carolina versus Mississippi State?
No line.
They must have pulled it. I saw an 11.
I saw 11 on the overnight, and I actually bet South Carolina.
And you know what? Quindary Weatherspoon, all right, he is definitely out from the information I got. This is a 16.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. This guy really, really contributes. And Mississippi State's going to be really hurting without him. I don't think you're going to plug that hole right away. So you know what? If you're saying there's no line now, then that means
there's no line now. But I did bet South Carolina. I actually bet it on the overnight at 11. So obviously it was around at that point.
Okay, but right now I can't catch an 11.
Yeah.
So all right, well,
but you can take the opener when it does open market wide if you want. But who knows what that line will be?
Yeah, I know. You know what? I can't do it. I can't do it. I have to pull off. But good for you jumping in there because I think that's going to make a big difference. Plus, South Carolina finally jumped out of their slump and they kicked some ass and took some names the other day.
Double-digit home win. Mississippi State's off a huge double-digit road loss.
Exactly.
And I think that those
spot.
things continue for them.
Well, the other thing I was going to do, Pete, I'm doing the Maryland, and I was going to do a 3-team teaser with Purdue, St. John's, and South Carolina. But since there's no line on South Carolina, I'm scratching it. So,
okay.
Yep. And what's the best shop line for the full game with Purdue?
Purdue is just 10.5. No movement on that one since the opening line. I was, Purdue's a strong team, but that's a big line.
Yeah, it is. It is. Pistol Pete, I'm going with one play today.
All right. So the what's it called? The Maryland pick on the first half is definitely my best play. There's a few other ones that I like a lot less, but I'll give them anyway.
All right. What the hell?
I mean, I might get burned on it, but who cares? I got nothing to lose. All right. The first one, I'm going to give
with fire, baby.
I'm going to give Davidson -3. Davidson -3 and over St. Bonaventure.
I crunched that heavy. What made you decide to pull the trigger on it, Pistol?
Well, again, it's a little bit of a second tier pick for me, but I think the number is so low because of year-long stats, which makes sense. But I think that
I cannot get a good read on Davidson this year. Cannot.
They took Dayton to overtime in their last game, which is a nice, impressive result. Sure. And St. Bonaventure struggled in their last game to put away Duquesne at home. So I'm thinking that the line makes sense because of year-long numbers, but their recent game tells us what form they're in right now.
And Davidson's at home, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll take it.
What the hell? Pull that trigger.
And I'll give the first half on it as well.
There he goes.
And then
there he goes, D. And they're off.
And then the other one I'm going to give is this one I'm liking even less, but I think I'll give it anyway. Is American University at Army, give +7.
American Army. Who in the hell? If you can name one player on any roster right now, Pistol Pete, I'll take you to lunch.
I mean, they beat Army outright on the road at Army a few weeks ago. This is kind of a big game, so I will lean American here, and I'll give it just on the full game +7. Yeah, and let's see. I guess that's about it for me.
Sporting that new computer today.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Let me see if there's anything. The Pittsburgh Georgia Tech game is an interesting one. The Iowa State Oklahoma State game is an interesting one. Oh, and then the Penn State Ohio State game. Now this feels like a big ball.
+1 for Ohio State.
Yeah, it's +1.5. Now my sense is that Penn State is the play here, but let me see.
It seems like a trap game. 16-13 Ohio State going up against I think 14-15 Penn State, but that's where the records don't matter. Penn State's at home. Ohio State is not a juggernaut this year. But Pete, something tells me that recruiting, talent, bench, the depth has got to be better.
I mean, Penn State has had some good home results. They beat Maryland outright. They beat Illinois outright. They took Purdue in OT. You know what? I will give it. I will
pull that trigger. There we go.
I'll give Penn State on the full game -1.5, -105.
I think that's a big balls play today, right there, buddy.
At the Chris books. Yeah. We'll give that one, and I guess that's about it.
Tomorrow looks like a pretty interesting card as well.
I'll be crunching all those games. That's it for me.
Yeah.
All right, Mike
hey,
Brenner.
Dennis, you know what's dangerous? He got this new computer. He loves it. It works good. It's fast. All right, he's going to be crunching more now than he ever did. I'm not kidding you. If there was ever the epitome of a Captain Crunch, here it is.
All right, here we go.
We're not
all right,
that's it, Mike Brenner. We're not going to see him until tomorrow.
I know if we see him tomorrow.
That's it. And you want to give any shout-outs, or should we wrap
it up?
Of course,
we always got to give the shout-outs because, guys, on nights where we get beat and beat down, you know what? You're on the side with us and got to hang in there. So for any of the haters that say I'm just not tuning in anymore, guess what? Come on back in. We're getting ready to heat it up. Pistol Pete's going to do what he did in February. He's going to pour it into March, and I know I'm fitting to heat up.
Okay.
I have nothing but just total faith.
All right, sounds good, Mike Brenner. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card.
That's right. #AskSBR.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.